I'm Lonnell Mathews. I am the juvenile court clerk for Davidson County, and my office is the backbone anchor for the My Brother's Keeper Nashville partnership. I am a native Nashvilleian, grew up during the 80s and 90s in North Nashville, to high school at Martin Luther King Magnet School, went to college at the Tennessee State University, and left college, went to work full-time for the YMCA, but about half through my YMCA career, which I was there for 15 years, I got into politics and government. So I was elected to the Metro Council for Nashville in 2007. I was 26 years old, the youngest African American elected to Nashville's Metro Council, served 2 terms as a district council member representing District 1. I then transitioned and worked for Mayor Megan Berry, directing the Office of Neighborhoods and Community Engagement for that mayoral administration from 2015 to 2018. And in 2018, I decided to throw my name back in the hat for another elected office and got elected as the first African-American juvenile court clerk in Nashville and Davidson County. And that's when we started to build up the infrastructure and the capacity to do the My Brother's Keeper Nashville partnership in the city in collaboration with the Obama Foundation out of Chicago. It has to be my grandmother, Susie L. Mathews. She is the person that introduced me to faith. So she took me to church when I was really young, 3 years old, kept me in church, made sure that I had morals and values that were really entrenched in the way that I thought, in the way that I created, in the way that I grew. And she was always giving. I mean, she was the type of person that never met a stranger. She was always willing to give the shirt off her back if someone needed it. She was feeding the whole entire neighborhood. If my friends came by the house or anyone just came by the house and they were looking for a meal, she always had one ready for them. And so she really gave me that spirit to give back, to help other people, to see a need, to be able to identify a need, and to be able to try to figure out how to fill that void or fill that gap so that people's needs were being met. If I could speak to my younger self, I had one moment when I was younger that was a really selfish moment. Me and my father, I was playing junior pro football, and it was after school one day, and I wanted to go out and play basketball with my friends in the neighborhood. And my father said, well, you have practice. When you are part of a team and you're playing with other people, you have to be able to keep your commitments to people. And so you have to make a choice. Do you want to go play basketball, or do you want to play football for the team that you had committed playing for? And I said, I want to play football. But I had this real selfish moment of, man, I really want to be out playing basketball with my friends. And so in that moment, what I would tell my younger self is to try to take yourself out of it, try to take your own motivation out of what you're doing, because there's a greater purpose to community. Community is better, and when you're engaged in community, when you're engaged with other people, your life is going to be so much better because other people are thriving while you're thriving. It's not enough to thrive by yourself or to have access or to have opportunity by yourself. If other people don't have it, there's always going to be this void that needs to be filled. And so as you thrive, continue to make sure that you're sharing your blessings with other people to make sure that they have the same opportunities and access that you have. My biggest asset, I believe, is my network. I am a people person. I connect with people. I know that I can't do everything. My talents are limited when it comes to certain things, but I know people that could get things done. And so my greatest benefit to the community and people around me has been to be able to connect them with people that can help them accomplish the goals that they have. And I do that for young people when it comes to the work with My Brother's Keeper and working with male students from marginalized communities. In our school district, I do that for older people when it comes to working with different organizations, and they're trying to figure out how they could best serve the community, and they need resources or they need people to come in and volunteer. Being able to connect people, connect the dots for people has been something that I've always prided myself on being able to do, and I want to continue doing that for my community. Black generosity really comes to, and I say this to my family, I spell love T-I-M-E. It's really where you invest your time and where you're willing to show or where you're willing to be present. Philanthropy is not always about, giving money, but it's giving what's valuable to us. I don't mean no one's making any more time. You get the time that you have here on earth. You get to make the impact that you can with that time that you're given, but we're not going to be given any more minutes. You can't go out there and earn more minutes or earn extra hours or extra days here on this earth. And so where you spend your time, what you choose to invest your time in, who you choose to invest your time with, That is where I see a lot of people from the Black community being able to be the most generous. If you're on the other side of receiving people's time too, be very cognizant and just aware that people are spending time with you, and sometimes that's enough. I look at being a game changer as being able to come in and help to pivot or shift or advance work that is being done. And so if I see an organization or someone in our community and they're doing good work and I see that I'm able to add value to the things that they're doing, then I'm going to jump in and I'm going to connect those dots and I'm going to help to advance whatever work that they're doing to get toward their goal. I think game changers do that across the board, where we look at situations, we look at opportunities, and we see the opportunity to add value to something. And as long as we could see that we're adding value, we feel good about the investments that we make, whether that is through money, whether that is through time. That's how game changers really change the game for people. The wisdom that I would share with someone that is starting their journey in philanthropy is to really figure out what your purpose is. What are the things that you feel most connected to? For me, that has become literacy. Literacy has become my number one issue. And it's because literacy really aligns with a lot of the work that I do in the juvenile justice system. 70% of kids come in contact with the juvenile justice system are functionally illiterate. The work that I've done in youth development at the YMCA in my career, literacy was a big part of that work. But just my personal story of how I grew up here in Nashville and the opportunities that were afforded to me really came through literacy, and not just thinking of literacy as reading, but thinking of literacy as how we write, how we express ourselves, how we communicate. And so for me, embracing that as a issue or something that I want to really be able to change and impact in this community has made the difference in how I invest my time, how I think about my investments and my philanthropy and my giving of resources. And I encourage anyone going on that journey that wants to be a philanthropist to think about what is the thing that really moves them in a passionate way. Over the next year, I'm excited to see My Brothers Keeper Nashville really grow in capacity and scale. We are looking to make population level impact across the school district. And so we're being very strategic and intentional on the way that we're thinking about engaging students and schools and educators in the work that we're doing. We want to be very creative to make sure that we keep a cool factor to how we engage young people and how we allow young people to have voice in the programs and the events and the things that we curate for them to make their learning and their access to opportunity, success, and achievement greater. And so I'm really excited for this next school year and the growth that we have planned for young people.